So now let's take a step back to nostalgia and take another very important chapter of your life. That chapter for a lot of people, Naiyya, might be a dream journey. And that chapter is about an Ivy League. Right? You were a part of Harvard Business School. You have been known as an alumni there. You are a very vociferous supporter of some of their fantastic initiatives. But let's first demystify Harvard. A lot of people have this thought to say, यार ये तो अमीरजादों का टंटे है, अमीरजादे ही जा सकते हैं वहाँ पे. एक अलग school of thought है कि boss, you have to be super bright and super intelligent to even crack that. एक third aspect है, which somewhere I heard you mention in some part of the conversation, where you also believe in luck. You also believe in being in the right place at the right time. Take us through a combination of all of this for someone, because a lot of our viewers might be in that juncture where they're really trying to crack an Ivy League, really trying to get into that hallway of a fantastic Harvard institution. How does one get there? How easy is it, Naiyya? And once you go there, like I say this a lot about my friends in IIT and IIMs, the Harvards, the Ivy Leagues perhaps are the greatest equalizer in life. आपको लगता होगा कि यार हमने तो यार मचा दिया, एंट्री कर दिया, हम ही हमें, बाकी सब में पानी कम है. But when you reach that space, you realize that you're a speck in that entire galaxy, because there are 10,000 people far smarter, far more resilient, far wiser than you. And that also is a great equalizer, because it brings you around reality and makes you, I think, far more humbler in life. For me, my humility rounds are much different, it's just taught me. But take us through this for the sake of our viewers who are trying to crack that. How is it? How's life there? How difficult is it? What happens there?
See, I mean, very honestly speaking, it's a great privilege to have had that experience. I'm very, very, very grateful for that experience. But I don't think it's never been like, and I'm going to be very honest here, right? I mean, remember law school, first year, I had like this secret note, you know, कि चलो, you had time to think, ना? College में time मिलता है थोड़ा बहुत, so you're sitting and saying कि क्या कर सकते हैं life के साथ, and like क्या कर सकते हैं, like what is the thing that, and I, you know, I've said, I want to go to an Ivy League, and I put Harvard on top. I put Harvard Law School, so I didn't put business school, interestingly enough then, right? Because it was like the dream, like, you know, to go there. And Harvard, Oxford, Cambridge, and Stanford, like, yeah. And I probably have the notes somewhere still, right? And I said, kaise, and I never really planned it. I think, you know, like I said, I think I've been very lucky. I've had a life of very fortunate, I think, detours. So after law school, right, I had an offer with Clifford Chance in London, like to do corporate law. Never done a corporate law internship, but somehow cracked that interview. And McKinsey had come to campus, and उन्होंने pitch किया था कि you can work in business, right? And I was like, let me try this out. I've never done business stuff before, but try करते हैं. And actually at McKinsey, that is when I think I really appreciated business for itself. I remember till then Calcutta and like law school experience is all about like
the service and the professional
line.
The
service and the professional angle.
Entrepreneurship wasn't even considered. Wasn't even cool.
Correct.
Forget anything else. It was supposed to be the negative list.
Exactly. Right? It was a like don't go list, right? It doesn't make any sense. And I think when I saw, you know, when I was working on business problems with my team, but also equally with CEOs and with COOs and like, you know, with like literally across like multiple contexts, I developed a very, very healthy respect for the scale, impact and the outcome companies have, right? And that's when I initially considered कि business school जाना चाहिए, you know, and that was when the seed of the idea came to mind. And the good thing was, again, you're such a creature of the people, the environment you're with, right? McKinsey made it become normalized, right? That Ivy League is normal.
Before you go down this memory path, take one small pause and tell us, was the McKinsey calling a natural calling, or was it a calling out of that intrigueness of trying something very different? I'll tell you why I asked this. Yeah. Because it's also again mindset, right? कि कुछ अलग करना है, कुछ हटके करना है, and that हटके always adds tremendous value later on in life, which one doesn't realize. Yeah. So was it because of that, or was it that the brand was calling out and saying?
I didn't even know the brand. Just so you know, see, this is 2007 I'm talking about, right? McKinsey had, I think, entered India about 2002, so 5-6 years in or whatever. I didn't know McKinsey, right? I was going for the free pizza. They had come to the conference room in law school and they said, "Arey, koi free pizza de raha hai, kuch PPT chal raha hai, chalo." So I showed up. And then, of course, everybody there was extremely impressed because that's what consultants do, right? They talk and they do presentations. And I think what appealed to me was, again, I think it went back to saying that they were looking at working with foundations, working with the government, working with healthcare, working in healthcare from a business angle. And that for me was new, right? And मेरे में ये था always, right, कि कुछ नया करना है, नया सीखना है. Like, how do I keep
the hatke mindset?
Correct. And also, do keep in mind, I had a Clifford Chance offer, right? So I reached out to them and said, can I defer it? Once I made it to McKinsey, they said, you can defer it by a year. So in a way, I had a safety net, right?
That changes the game.
That changed the game. And then I went to McKinsey for a year and I loved it, right? I mean, imagine you're a 23-year-old, you're sitting in a boardroom, presenting and talking one-on-one with like the top CEOs of the country, right? You're presenting the boards, like publicly listed boards. And it's extremely non-hierarchical culture, right? McKinsey is very non-hierarchical internally, but also the way we talk to clients, very non-hierarchical.
Whole bunch of my friends keep telling me that.
Right? And I think that is such a powerful formative experience, you know, and then you also realize that no one knows anything. We're all figuring it out together. So anyway, that I think the business ka keeda wahan se shuru hua.
Okay.
And then, I mean, of course, you know, the other good thing is that, and I keep on telling everybody I meet, especially the young folks, right? Don't invest in anything, just invest in your peer set. Who are you surrounding yourself with every day, right? McKinsey normalized for me ambition at a very different scale. Very different scale. They said Ivy League, सब लोग तो जाते हैं, सारे BAs, business analysts जाते हैं Ivy League, कुछ नया नहीं इसमें, right? So it became normal for me, and then I could reach out to people. I could say अगर मैं application ऐसे लिख रही हूँ तो ये story लिखूँ, ऐसे position करूँ, CV कैसे बनानी है, right? And then separately हट के I also found that I didn't have money, right? I come from a government background, right? So I applied to the Tata Endowment and I applied to Fulbright. दोनों हो गए. So then I could even dream more audaciously कि हाँ, it's real. I can go there. Practically I can go there. And that's what happened.
So how was the experience there?
Fabulous.
Tell us, there's a beautiful adage that is coming out of what you're saying. And one learning for our viewers is that peer set recalibrates like nothing else, right? Because recalibration is two types. There's a northward recalibration and a southward recalibration. A recalibration northward makes you realize that the unachievable is achievable.
Yeah.
And I think that is also a huge mindset of a founder.
Yeah.
Because all of this, उस time पे हमें नहीं समझ में आ रहा था. But उस time पे लगता था कि यार ये शायद हो सकता है. Like when I was in my, so like for me ना, again, coming from the background that I did, the way I started my career, college में side gig which I told you, I was earning 20 grand a month. My career at that time,
imagine.
and I'm talking about this is 2004, 5.
4, 5, yeah.
And when I started the job, I was getting $1,500 a month. So I'm like, यार reality check कुछ अलग हो रहा है भाई. Side gig is turning out to be more popular. But I'm like, यार bike बेचने के लिए थोड़ी ना career बनाया है यार. But you never know.
Yeah.
But,
maybe second innings, Vinayak, just saying.
Second innings are too many for me right now, man. But what that does, na, it shapes your mindset. Why I keep saying mindset is so important, dude. Because for me, the starting was the bottom of the, I would say literally the bottom of the barrel moment. I started my career in a city like Bombay, and I call Mumbai my Karam Bhumi. Everything that I am is because of what the city has given me, right? I started my journey in this city in a dormitory. I started my journey in a room slightly smaller than your drawing room, with 24 of us sleeping on a gadda niche, with this size house rats going by either side, and having one broken Indian loo to go to. And life ka jugaad tha, usme 24 number pe mat jana. From there, the recalibration what I talk about is, right, recalibration is about achieving the unachievable. For me, the unachievable was at that point of time to go to the #1 institute in the country, which at that point of time was the erstwhile Amarchand.
Yeah.
Cracking that, becoming super successful there, going up to almost the position of a junior partner there, building your own name, building your own, clients, books, moving on to another law firm, building a practice, starting your own law firm in the form of Vertices.
How old were you when you started off Vertices?
I was 33. Yeah.
So fairly young to start off a law firm as well, huh?
Fairly young.
Because normally you would start off a law firm after you kind of build a book, a client book.
34. Yeah. By 34, I had a reasonable book on my own.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you why and how. That mindset and all kept coming. It'll come a lot in our learnings the way. But what I want to draw out for the viewers here is what you're saying, that the peer set that you hang out with, or even if you don't hang out with, that you subject yourself to, if it's the right element, you can recalibrate northward and say achieve the unachievable. If it's southward, it can actually also be your quicksand.
Absolutely.
So the right choice makes your peer set also a form of lifeboat.